Pretty cool day in ad agency land. I got two of my clients connecting today, and they're going to talk about like a merger, a buyout type of partnership, optimization strategy type of conversation getting together. So that's pretty cool. That's in a few hours. But more importantly, I wanted to talk about one thing in marketing today, which I thought was kind of an interesting thought. I had a client ask me, how do you sell products without discounting? Premium products, really nice, higher priced products, without discounting, no discount ever at all in the sales process. My name's Bobby Dietz. I've been posting videos like this on YouTube for years now, but this new channel is all about my digital marketing agency. Make sure you hit subscribe and follow along. I think the question stemmed from this company's interest in selling. You know, right now is a great time to be in consumer goods. Companies are selling left and right, it would seem. It's happening all the time. You know, pure Evita just sold, Blenders just sold for frickin' 90 million bucks. Hello, Toothpaste just sold. So it's kind of a crazy time. I think a lot of venture money is moving into these safer consumer good type products because they're not going to run into a WeWork situation where there's inflated numbers. But even then, you look at Casperson. I mean, the valuations are just kind of crazy on these things right now. But that's where the conversation really started from for them. I have some very specific thoughts on how to tackle that as a actual issue or strategy and goal for your company related directly to the digital marketing and decisions you make. What we're really talking about here is brand story. I'll talk a little more about like what this is specifically as I go through this rant, but at the end of the day, we need people to pay more for a product. And that all comes down to why, painting a picture of why they would do that. So how do you create a great why? That all comes down to the content that you're producing. If you're not producing level A content all the time, then it's just not gonna make people feel like the product is a premium product. That also means that you have to have a customer journey that you're sending people down that's probably a lot longer. You know, the retargeting campaigns, a one-day add to cart campaign that would typically convert really well might not do that well for a brand that has a non-discount approach to their sales. So you need to have a longer time frame for retargeting and lower expectations for the conversion time frame. See, what you lose in this process is the benefit of conversions. You know, you can't focus that as a real heavy KPI through your process. You have to communicate with people more and more for a longer period of time without having a direct dollars in, direct dollars out mindset. There's a lot of brand lift throughout all channels that's going on, keeping you top of mind and making you ultra recognizable and highly desired. But the one benefit though is that they know no matter what, they're not gonna get discounts all year long. So there's no point in waiting to buy. Just buy when you decide it's the right product to buy. So how do you get people to decide it's the right product to buy? You won't be pulling people back in based on discounts. You'll be pulling them back in based on content, and that content needs to be great. That is how you bring people in and make them want your product in a very big way. They identify with your content, they see themselves looking cool or feeling better or wanting something exclusive and in the elite for a product that is not an affordable choice, something that makes them feel special, and you need to articulate that consistently. As a digital marketer, our job is to make sure that your products are constantly in front of them, and as the brand owner or creative agency, it's your job to make sure that the image being portrayed in the messaging, all of it, makes the product highly desirable. We can't just make retargeting campaigns that exclude all purchasers and 1 to 30 day retargeting off of view content. You have to have a very long time frame, and you have to deliver unique content constantly, and email is a very big part of that. Look at a company called Stamped in LA, their clothing company. They don't really do any advertising, like proper advertising. The whole company, my understanding anyway, the whole company was built out of their blog and all the content that they put up and making it highly desirable. Yes, they did limited drops and sold out their products, creating demand, which is exactly what Supreme did as well. That's what they did. They underproduced all their products, oversold them or sold them at the limit, creating big lines, high demand, and then the product value shot way up. The toy industry did the same thing. If you look at what happened with toys, every year they go and sell or advertise a product that they haven't produced enough of, and then every year they sell out of that product and you're forced to buy something else else that's in stock, leaving you no choice but to go back in February or March when the products are in stock after Christmas time and buy your kid that toy. It's the same kind of thing. That is a specific strategy that you can use, but if you're a product that's not looking to do gimmicky type of stuff and you just consistently want to raise the demand for your product, that is something you might want to avoid. But it is a strategy that can work with non-discounting. At the end of the day, this is a product choice, not a functional choice. It's a lifestyle choice. People are deciding that they want to have your product for themselves, and it doesn't matter what it costs, they just have to be wearing that item. That means staying in front of them, having something that looks really cool and desirable in your creatives and your copy, and communicating them in a very friendly and constant way through social media and email. And that's really all you can do. If you're not willing to discount, you have got to stay top of mind, and all the information that you provide top of mind has to be highly valued, highly engaging, truly interesting, and cool. At the end of the day, it has to be cool. Remember, only one brand can really be the lowest cost. Everything else is a story. All you're doing in this situation is trying to tell a premium story for a premium price. The difference in story for, let's say, hats that are $150 compared to a New Era hat, which might be $40, is all about where it's made, how it's made, who's wearing it, why it's cool, why you need to be seen wearing it. And those are the lifestyle choices that people are going to pony up more money for, but you can't get that story across if you're not advertising in front of them with realistic KPIs for conversion cost all along the way. Okay, I gotta get going. I gotta go to this client meeting, and I'll give you guys a little update after the meeting and tell you all about it. I'm certainly not gonna record in the meeting while these guys are talking about this kind of thing, but it should be fun to watch it go down. All right. Something I forgot to mention is the targeting. You've got to niche down on your targeting and get it really tight. You know, it makes it very possible, especially for prospecting, it's very possible to get really, really specific on the type of people that you're looking for, especially if you know who your audience is, and you can have a much lower audience size with your prospecting campaigns and pay more for them. Who cares if you're paying 80 cents a click instead of 25 if the people that you're hitting is your perfect audience? So make sure that you understand who it is that you're looking for, what their interests are, and then go after those type of things, both on Facebook and YouTube and Google, all those type of platforms. It's very helpful. Hello. It sure is. How are you? A couple of my clients getting together. One might buy the other or partner with them, having a whole conversation about what it might be in the future and what's possible today. Kind of interesting. Hopefully they both don't fire me, you know? It was a great meeting. The guys hit it off really well. It was really exciting because, you know, you put this thing together with two companies that you think are going to do really well together or would communicate well, and they did. It went really well. The businesses are totally unique in that they have what they do for software and service is very specific to their industry and very similar. The difficulties that they face are very specific to their industry and their businesses, and they related on all of the different things that they were going through. It was funny because my the one client that was a little bit senior client of mine had a little more experience in the space of their industry, but they had kind of come across the difficulties, the growth challenges and difficulties that the other client had yet to come through. They were just up and coming in those challenges, so they were leaning on their experience and talking to them about what they would do and how they would do it if they ended up partnering on the deal or buying or merging or whatever it is that they ended up doing. To me, it seemed like a no-brainer for these two clients to come together and make something much bigger and ride the wave even harder that they're on. So hopefully it ends up working out, and I'm glad I was able to put the two people together. It was exciting for me to add some value in a unique way to these clients that I enjoy working with so much. It was a fun night, and no real deals were made or anything, but the conversation was had and an offer is going to get made, so I'm excited to see what happens. Anyway, that's it for tonight.